Hi, I'm Jack West.
And I'm Michael Murphy. Welcome to this week's episode of Lasso TV.
Today, we'll make sure you know what you need to know going into the weekend and next week. So let's get this show on the road.
Going into sports, the Mason boys basketball team is 10-5, and you have 3 opportunities to see them in action next week. Stop by the MEH gym on Monday. If you can't make that game, try again when the boys take on Rappahannock on Wednesday. Oh, you can't make that one either? Well, try again on Friday with another boys game against Clark County. All games start at 7:30.
Too much basketball for the week? Don't worry. Next Saturday, try to stop by the only local swim meet of the year as Mason Swim and Dive competes at regionals at Wakefield High School at 5 p.m.
Last week, GM and MEH students participated in the state round of the Cyber Patriots competition. Here's a little bit about the competition from some of the people involved.
What is Cyber Patriots?
Well, the Cyber Patriots are basically a group of students that choose to be Windows defenders. So what they're doing, and as other people have described, they're working on finding the vulnerabilities, finding the issues that are on different images of computers. So someone is working on a Windows 10, someone's Windows 8, someone's working on Linux. And it's basically at the high school level, we work on local machines. So we try to fix just computers on its own. If they decide to continue to be cybersecurity in college, then they're going to start doing more network security, more wireless kind of stuff.
Who usually wins the competition? Like, are these all new teams, or is this the same teams as usual?
So this year we have a lot of new teams actually. I think we have 4 new teams. Last year we only had 3 really competitive teams. This year we have about 7, I think. In addition to that, like every year we have one good team that usually makes it to the East Coast Regional, so top 30, top 40 in the nation. But the really good teams are in California.
What team are you on?
We're Team Carrot Graph. It's a reference to Ender's Game. We're the team that we think we'll be able to get to the regional this year.
Midterms are next week, and we know you're stressing. Lasso TV went out to get a sense from students and teachers about how midterms exams are going to work.
Midterm exams start on January 31st this year. During exam week, students don't have classes and instead take 2 exams per day.
Well, midterms are important. First of all, grade-wise, they're very important because when you think about your semester grade, the midterm exam makes up 20% of that grade. So I also think teachers would think it's important because it's a way to test students on what they've learned for the entire semester.
So we know that midterms are important. They aren't going away. How do students feel about them?
They probably think they're fairly annoying.
I want to jump off the Georgetown Bridge when I study for them.
I don't like them.
And stressful because, like I just said, it is a huge test, and I think students probably put a lot of pressure on themselves and feel like they have to do well on these tests in order to do well for the semester.
I'm kind of scared about them. I don't really want to do them right now, and I haven't studied at all for them, so that's kind of stressful.
So I think it stresses them out quite a bit. I don't like that. I wish they didn't put that much pressure on themselves.
So I never like get like too stressed out about like tests, but midterms I normally just like study as much as I can like the week before, and then I just try not to think about it that much.
If they've done fairly well throughout the semester, they should know that by this point they know the material. There's no reason to cram on these tests. They don't have to stay up all night studying and that sort of thing. In fact, really the best thing to do the night before is to get a good night's sleep, because if you go in tired and feeling like you went nuts trying to study all night, you're probably not going to end up doing that well on the exams.
What are some ways to best prepare for the exam?
Use your study guide. When you get a study guide from your teacher, you should make sure that you have all the answers that you need in order to be successful on your test.
Study groups are always a good way to sort of have a less stressful way of studying, so you're studying with other people. And some students use the ESR to prepare.
I think the most important thing is if you're confused about something, you should ask your teacher.
I think making sure that if you have questions beforehand, that you've met with the teacher.
Don't forget to study Mustangs. I'm Gabe, and I'm out.
We here at Lasso TV don't yet indulge much in social media, but we're aware that most of the student body enjoys their time in the social media universe. Let's see more on this week's episode of Getting Real with Ellie.
What's your favorite social media platform?
If I could pick one social media platform,
I would use Snapchat, I guess.
I would choose Facebook. Probably pick Facebook.
Probably Snapchat or Instagram.
It's definitely got to be Snapchat.
Facebook. What's your favorite aspect of Facebook?
There are people I know on there.
I like Snapchat because I can add stickers and use filters, and I like Instagram because there's just a lot to do and a lot of networking, and you can meet people and explore pages. So.
That is true, very true. Instagram is a popular one.
Just because it's it's already well established.
Because it's really easy to use, and like you can see like what's going on around the school and stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I have a lot of friends on there.
Yeah.
Why? Why Snapchat? One of your favorites?
I guess because of the funny faces you can use, and you can just talk to family and friends out in the distance, you know.
Because I use that the most, and also allows me to interact with my camp friends and my sister a lot more than Facebook, and I can also interact with my friends from school. I use that a lot more.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more Getting Real.
The Mustang Wrestlers had a successful senior night home meet this week, which was one of the final meets of the season. Districts and conference tournaments begin next week for the Mason Wrestlers. In this week's Gabe Challenge, Lasso TV's Gabe Hastings is out learning what it takes to prepare to be a wrestler.
Welcome back to the Gabe Challenge. Hungry? Well, great, because we're going to challenge senior former wrestler Andrew Coulson to an eating competition. In order to prepare for their division conference championships next week, they got to bulk up. Let's go ask Brian Harris exactly how much food they need to eat. So, Mr. Harris, how does the team train before meets?
I think with wrestling, it has a unique piece in that it, because it's an individual sport and there's a very high level of physicality with it, you don't have the team to rely on when you're out on the mat.
So, who are some of the athletes we need to look out for this wrestling season?
Our two probably best wrestlers this year are 106-pounder Brian Villegas, who's a sophomore, and then another sophomore, Jack Felgar, who's our 145-pounder this year.
How many PB&Js do you think one of your wrestlers could eat?
Like jam or jelly, or it's chunky or creamy. Waffles, a pretty high number of waffles, and I think that they can eat. You add the peanut butter on there, there's still the bread and the carbohydrate component, the density of the jellies.
Yeah.
So 9 and 12 PB&Js. Probably, you also have to consider, and are we talking about and is it because the waffles?
So Andrew, how much do you need to eat as a wrestler, and why is it important?
Well, a wrestler's diet is probably one of the most important parts of the season. You have to control your weight. Typically, you're going down on weight, so you're dropping weight, so you have to still eat, but eat healthy foods. Like grapefruit helps you lose weight, speeds up your metabolism. Hunger suppressants like coffee, and you also still need to eat lean meats like chicken and fish.
Will PB&Js work?
It's not recommended.
So the rules to this contest are for whoever can eat the most PB&Js in 1 minute. Whoever loses gets pied in the face with that pie. Now, without further ado, let's begin.
3, 2, 1, go.
Stop. Oh my god.
It's time.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Gabe Challenge. This is Gabe, signing off, Mustangs.
Waffles.
That's all for this week, folks.
Good luck on midterms.
Tune in next week for another episode of Lasso TV.
Thanks for watching. We're out.